Hello everyone, this is iKonakona, and here I'm defending as a heavy on Payload Upward. So I'm equipped with the Tommy Slab, the Eviction Notice, and the Sandwich. I think I had by the way, the Eviction Notice is the Brass Knuckles. I don't know what, I think these names of these items are so hard to remember that I'm just going to refer to them as what they are, the Brass Knuckles. So, I have the Brass Knuckles. And I think I have them because on the previous round, I must have been Degroot or something like that, where I was just trying to fool around with those brass knuckles. But yeah, for this match, I probably would have been better off using those flaming gloves. Again, I don't know the name of it. I think it's like the gloves of Gru. I don't know. See, the flaming gloves, they'll make you faster. I should have had those because that really tailors to my type of gameplay when I play with a heavy, my play style, and that is a very mobile heavy. Now the Tommy Slab is a great weapon for being a mobile heavy, and oh, he's a spy over here just sitting over there. Luckily I bumped into him. But yeah, the Tommy Slab is a great weapon for being a very mobile, very fast moving heavy, and I think it's the fast moving heavies that are the ones that are going to be doing the best, mainly because a fast heavy is kind of weird. You know, you would think of a heavy as a very slow class, like the tank class, and yet if you can be really quick with the heavy, you can flank the enemy from unexpected routes, and I think that's what really makes an effective heavy. And now here I'm just getting owned by a spy. I think Homoda, my medic here, was calling him out, but I wasn't really paying attention, and then I got backstabbed. So yeah, the medics actually are really good for calling out spies and stuff, or calling out anyone actually, because when you're playing a heavy, especially when I'm playing a heavy, I'm so focused on trying to kill the enemy team that's directly in front of me that if someone comes from the side, I may not immediately take notice of them, and so I really need some help from a medic to call out enemy positions when I'm a heavy. So here's that spy again. He gets away though, and I'm trying to chase him down. I'm trying to guess where he goes, and I think he goes over here. I'm confused, but I don't know where he went. He is gone, and I'm just trying to double check to make sure that he's not hiding anywhere, but I don't think he's even close to here. So yeah, I lost him. Now, a really popular technique to use with the heavy is jumping around corners. I mean, this class is already pretty fast with those flaming gloves and the Tommy Slab, but to even make it more effective, you can jump around corners and flank the enemy and surprise the enemy like that. Now there, you can see that there are really no corners in front of me, and so I don't want to push out there too much because there's just way too many enemies, and there's not many corners I can use to my advantage to try and flank them or surprise them. So I have to pull back here. Homoda pops Uber for me, and now it is time to charge. And here's this heavy. He was not even paying attention to me. I don't know why. He was just so focused in front of him that he didn't notice an Uber right next to him. So take him out pretty easily. And now that the Uber is over, I'm a little hesitant about pushing up too far because I know they're like respawning and stuff, but I don't want to push up too far because I'm going to get caught out there by myself, and I don't want that. So here's these guys trying to actually set up above us, so luckily I took this route. And look at all these guys over here. I guess all those guys went indoors, and so no one was here to actually clear that area out. So I went upstairs, cleared it out, and now it's back to just camping this area right here, staying around this corner. And I'm trying to use this corner to jump around and try and surprise him because there's not that much cover out there. Now here, a little low on health, so I have to retreat, and there are no medics around right now, so I have to give myself the sandwich. But usually I would give the sandwich, or I try to give the sandwich to hurt medics, but if there are no medics around, I usually just take it myself. But now I got two medics on me, so I decided to actually turn this corner and see if I can do some work on these guys. I spot these two soldiers here, and I instinctively go for the one that took out his melee weapon, and I wasn't paying attention to the other soldier that popped his buff banner and got me. And so yeah, those can actually be really effective, the buff banner and the battalion's backup, just because the buff, it's kind of intimidating. It has that intimidating factor, but also it really does help. You know, the mini crits, it really does work on heavies. Now here I get bonked by that scout, but I'm not too worried about that scout. I'm worried about that sentry gun all the way over there in that doorway, and I want to take it out. And I see here that Homoda, my medic here, actually has Uber, so he pops it for me, and now I'm just trying to rush this sentry gun, trying to get as close to it as I can as possible before destroying it, because you do more damage when you're close up. Now here I see this medic and heavy pair, and my Uber doesn't last very long because I spent most of that time just trying to get up to the sentry, and so I have to pull back a little bit because they have the advantage. They're all respawning right now, and look at them, all of them are right there, and so I'm just telling them, run, run, we don't stand a chance, because really we don't stand a chance, and oh, there goes Homoda, my medic, he gets flanked by a soldier. So yeah, have to retreat here, and that's probably the best thing to do. Remember, don't feel bad about retreating or running away. I mean, don't feel like you're going to be considered a coward, because you're not. You're going to be considered smart if you run away in that kind of situation, because you don't stand a chance when it's like 10 to 1. Now the enemy is pushing the cart pretty fast now. There's a couple guys on it, and when I come over here, it's either I turn to the right or turn to the left. And what I usually do is try to stop anyone else from coming through this doorway, and I get teamed up on. Like, it was 3 against 1, and I lost that one. Luckily, we were able to clear the cart, but yeah, sometimes it's a tough decision when you come around this area and the cart is already going to the left. It's hard to decide which one to cover. Do you go for the cart? Because if you go for the cart, you're going to get flanked from behind because there are going to be people coming through this doorway. Or do you turn to the right and try to block more people from touching the cart? So it's a trade-off here. Look at these guys. So many heavies and none of them see me, which is really nice. I just flank them all. I don't know how I did that. It just, those heavies were for some reason pointed straight forward and completely ignored me. And I'm sure if they turned to their left, I would have been owned there. But luckily they didn't. Now Homoda actually switched to the Kritzkrieg now, which is pretty cool because the Kritzkrieg is really effective on defense, especially when you have like a really good Slayer class like a Heavy or a Soldier or Demoman. So here he pops it. These guys are caught in the open with no cover at all, and this thing does massive damage even at long range. It's like a turkey shoot. It's so much fun when you got a Kritzkrieg and you're heavy and you're just shooting away at the enemy because they can be pretty far away, but you can still get those kills. It's a really effective strategy. Now I get hit here with a crit from that heavy all the way down there, a random crit, and so I have to pull back a little low on health. And I know that actually I killed a lot of them, right? And so I know that they're going to be respawning soon. So I have time to come back here, get some more health, and then rejoin my teammates on the front line. I know I have some time left. These guys are pushing now, and so right on cue, I'm trying to keep these guys at bay. You know, clearing this doorway. I usually decide to try and clear this door because I don't want to get flanked from behind if I ever turn to the left. So I usually like to make sure this doorway is clear before clearing the cart. And it's a trade-off. Like I said, it's a trade-off. Sometimes I have to depend on my teammates to try and clear the cart while I have to clear this doorway. Now I want to go back to the topic of the timing of deaths in this game. Now this game does have a respawn system, and so back when I got the crits and I killed a lot of people, I knew approximately when they're going to respawn and the next wave of people were going to come because, it's kind of like you learn while playing the game, the pacing of the game, how long it takes for people to respawn, and that can be good sometimes to learn that kind of timing because you want to be prepared for that wave. You don't want to be caught off guard and be like, whoa, where did all these enemies come from, So it's very good to try and learn the pacing of the game and also look at the kill feed as well to see if your team is getting a lot of kills or the enemy team is getting a lot of kills. That way it gives you kind of a cue as to when to push. And sometimes, I would sometimes call on the mic like, hey guys, like let's say we're on offense, right? I would sometimes call, oh here, I don't know what I'm trying to do, take out that sentry. That was stupid. But yes, when I'm usually playing on offense and stuff, and I'm trying to call out when we're going to push, I use the kill feed, and also when you press tab, you can see the scoreboard. I use that to see how many people on the other team are alive. If there are not a lot of people on the other team that are alive, I usually call out like, hey, now's the time to push because they're all dead. And oh man, heavy medic versus heavy medic, and I lost that one. I think that guy just had a better aim. I wasn't really connecting all my shots with him, so that's why I lost that one. By the way, now I'm switched back to the regular minigun just because I wanted to try it. Tommy Slide was getting a little boring, and so I decided to switch back to the regular minigun. But yeah, the timing of the pushes in this game is very important, and you obviously want to push when there are not a lot of enemies alive. When you look at your kill feed and you look at the scoreboard, you can get an idea of how your team is doing compared to the other team, like if you have the numbers advantage. And if you're attacking and you have a numbers advantage, that's usually a good time to push because you'll just completely gang up on those remaining guys on the other team. Now here, Uber, running away from the Uber, not being ashamed of running away from the Uber. Remember that. Don't be ashamed of running away from the Uber because that's the smart thing to do. So I hope it actually has crits again and I go work on these guys again. Take out all these guys. Luckily, I actually killed this that engineer before he could actually repair his sentry. I made him stop repairing his sentry, and I took out the sentry as well. So yeah, completely cleared this area, and we're doing pretty good with only 30 seconds left. Now when I come over here, I actually see this soldier, and I don't really want to chase him because he does have the height advantage. He actually went upstairs, so he does have the height advantage. And if he ever catches me off guard, I know that I might get owned by him because he does have the black box. So he'll get healed as he's hitting me. So yeah, I decided to ignore him. He can't really do much. I'm just making sure that no one touches the cart here, and I think that was a spy. But that's alright. We end up winning anyway. So mobile heavy, super powerful class, and I should probably use those flaming gloves. I still don't know the names of those. I'm just gonna call them the flaming gloves from now on. If you're new around here and you enjoyed it, you can click on that yellow button and subscribe to me. Also, 2 videos you may have missed. On the left, some battle engine with the Widowmaker on the Harvest Halloween event. And on the right, I give you some tips and tricks on Battlefield 3's jets. I try to go over the basics of jets and ways so you can get better because I know some people have a hard time trying to fly those jets. They can be tricky sometimes. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.